Y'all, I'm about to say some really spicy shit, so be prepared. This is a hot take of an opinion right here, and that is, you can see from the title, Chloe should be with Adrian. Yes, I'm doing a Ladybug vid. No, I'm still not salty about that. Shut up. Yeah. I honestly think Chloe is the better pick for Adrian in a relationship. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah. Because at first I was like, oh yeah, the love square, we all love it. But the more I think about it and look at Marinette's past actions, and compared to Chloe, and Chloe, I will, full disclaimer, say that Chloe is no angel. Like, we all know Chloe is no angel. But I'm gonna try to make a case for why I at least think Adrian should be with Chloe and not with Marinette. Ooh boy. This is gonna get interesting. If you don't think so, that's totally fine, no problem. I'm just throwing this out here. I'm just throwing this out into the wild and seeing what happens. So, reason being of why I think Chloe is better off with Adrian, let's start off with that. And again, preface that I understand that Chloe is no angel. So, for starters, Chloe and Adrian have been friends longer than anybody else. Like, they were raised together. Like, they were essentially, like, they grew up together. That was the big thing, is that Chloe was really the only friend Adrian had. And whenever you do see Adrian with Chloe, he's always there to defend her. And usually, Chloe is usually on her better behavior when Adrian is there. Like, she tries to do better around Adrian. And specifically speaking, I think they understand each other. Like, they understand, like, yeah, neither of them really had their moms in their lives. Like, their dads were kind of emotionally distant from them. Chloe on a different form of emotional, like, she was never, like, disciplined or whatever, and she never had that kind of emotional connection with her mom, and her father just kind of gave her whatever she wanted, in order to keep her happy rather than be a parent, like, be an actual parent, so that was a problem. And Adrian sympathized with that because he didn't have his mom, and his dad was emotionally distant from him. So they really only had each other to grow off of. They really only had that and nothing else. But yeah, Chloe just took that kind of, you know, for lack of a better word, abuse, and made it into something more negative, and Adrian took that negativity upon himself, whereas Chloe projected it onto others, because that's the only way she can feel. And that's really sad. That's really depressing for both. But again, this really does play into the whole thing of, you know, they're both essentially abuse victims. They're both victims of abuse, and they really are they were, for the longest time, one another's, you know, dependency. They really just depended on one another to not go crazy. That was the big thing, is that I guarantee you, if Chloe and Adrian did not grow up together and be friends and be as close as they were when they were children, it could have been a lot worse for both of them. Like, it could have been so... If you thought Chloe was bad now, imagine if Adrian wasn't in her life to keep some kind of semblance of stability there. That would be worse. Same with Adrian, where it's so... It'd be really, like, Adrian would be so worse off if he at least didn't have Chloe there. If he didn't at least have Chloe. And, yeah, that's kind of the thing, is, again, they both play off each other very well. The other thing... So let's talk about why Adrian probably shouldn't be with Marinette. Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? She stalks him, she... essentially just she will go out of her way to sabotage other people's lives in order to have Adrian to herself. Do I need to go into Miraculous Queen? Because I'll do it. I'm still salty about that, people. That's why the fuck you think I'm doing this video? It's really, it's almost, like, people play it off as like, oh, it's so cute and fun. No, it's not. This is harmful. This is dangerous shit that Marinette does every day. Some of it even illegal. And she has the audacity to go back around and turn on Chloe, who is, for lack of a better word, an abuse victim and has taken a lot worse punishment mentally than Marinette ever has. Fuck that bitch. Yeah. The more I watched that show, the more I was like, God damn. This is our protagonist? This person. It's a lot like, and again, it's funny because Thomas Astruc had a hand in this show too, Code Lyoko, where you look at the relationship between Ulrich and Sissy and how, like, it feels better. And again, Sissy's no angel, neither is Ulrich. But at the same time, and I'm not trying to diss Yumi. Yumi is literally the MVP of that show. But, like, she and Ulrich brought out the worst of each other. Like, they were the definition of toxic relationship. Whereas Sissy seemed to know how to navigate and handle Ulrich's feelings. Like, the thing is like, perfect example. When Ulrich used the Return to the Past device to help Yumi, even though they knew that was how Xana got stronger, all of his friends turned on him, even though 3 episodes back, Jeremy did the same goddamn thing. It blew my mind. I was like, yeah, like no one got pissed off at Jeremy, but Ulrich got the shit, and they all took off and left him. And the only one who really wanted to stay with him was Sissy. Like, she came up and said, hey, she wasn't trying to, like, hit on him or anything. She saw she was upset and even stayed with him when he was trying to train. She was like, I sexing him up, but really she didn't try to make a play for him or anything. She was just like, Ulrich was like, I want to be left alone, I'm in a bad mood. And she's like, no, you don't, that's the last thing you need, dude. I'm afraid, like, Sissy was generally terrified that Ulrich was gonna hurt himself. Like, that's how I kind of imagine, like, it's the same thing of, like, people say, like, Sissy was so bad for Ulrich because of, she was such a bad person. Bitch, did you not see Code Lyoko? Like, how the bullshit Ulrich pulled on people, too? I don't even get you started on Hiroki, what he did to Hiroki's friend, just to razz him, because he was so obsessed with Yumi. Jesus fucking Christ, this is not a Code Lyoko video. But what I'm saying is that's the same thing, and again, it's funny because Astruc was on that show, too. But yeah, Marinette, no consequences for her actions. She's damaged people. She's, well, not as much to the level of Chloe, but, like, she's got people akumatized. It's downright brutal to what she does to people, to both Kagami and other people around, like, Chloe. It's mind-boggling that this person is considered the best miraculous user in the entire goddamn show. It boggles my mind. Like, every time I watch a show, like, the moment, like, I had a mini, like a mini rage-induced heart attack when Master Fu in his final moment says, "You're the greatest miraculous user of all time, Marinette." And I'm like, why? It's literally because of her that you're in this mess, my dude. Why are you defending her, my man? Oh, right, Fu, you suck too, that's why. Oh yeah, I forgot the Senti monster you made and killed everyone with, and then you became so paranoid about all the Kwamis. Oh, I see, because she's you in a younger life, fuckhead. Anyway. Yeah, it just, like, the more you think about it, the more it's like, yeah, Chloe literally, the best is brought out in her when she's around Adrian, and Adrian was the only person who kept defending her when she was going off to New York to be with her mom because she just wanted her mom to love her. Jesus fucking Christ, that's depressing. But yeah, everyone else is throwing a conga line and shit, and Adrian's the one going, this is fucked. Like, Adrian was the first person in that entire group to go, y'all some fucked up assholes, man. Like, this is fucked. Yeah, it's depressing. Like, and it makes so much sense. Like, the more you think about it, of Chloe and Adrian's connection, their psychological need, and that's why Chloe is so dependent on Adrian, because it was literally the only person who kept her from going fucking crazy. Probably the same with Adrian. Is that Adrian sticks his neck out for Chloe so many goddamn times is because he knows she needs a lifeline, and he was her lifeline for the longest goddamn time. Marinette, oh, I'm sorry, she was too busy destroying destroying Chloe's life. The parental abuse victim, all because you wanted that that model dick. I know I'm well aware that everyone loves the love square, and I'm not trying to shit on you people. I'm really not. I'm really not trying to shit on anyone here. But, like, I'm looking at this from the outside looking in, and I'm like, I get why people like Adrian and Marinette, but, like, it's really hard to like Marinette. It's really hard. The more you watch the show, the more you're like, guys, she is really, like, someone needs to call the cops on her, because, like, that shit was illegal, what she did, like, stealing the phone, stalking Adrian, to the point where she knows every minute of him. Like, no one went, this is so, like, I'm, like, as much as I love Alya as my favorite character in the show, I kind of cringed when Alya's like, oh, it's so cute and romantic and funny. I'm like, no, Alya, you're smarter than this. You needed to be like, no, this girl, put the calendar away. We need to talk. I think you need help, Marinette. I think you need help. That should have been her reaction. Like, I will, but, anyway, this video is more done for I think, this is just me giving my hot take. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this? Do you think Chloe should be with Adrian, or do you just prefer Marinette with Adrian? And again, I'm not trying to shit on anyone. It was just like, this has been rattling in my mind, so it's like, I want to talk about it. So anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.